Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. A decision on whether recreational marijuana businesses will be allowed in Yellowstone County. Montanans voted in favor of recreational marijuana last fall, but under Montana law, counties can still keep pot businesses out if voters choose to prohibit them in a local election. Well, today, Yellowstone County commissioners heard passionate arguments, then handed down a major decision on a resolution that would have given voters the chance to overturn legal marijuana sales. Q2's Casey Conlon joins us with details.
Public comment was fairly split inside the Stillwater building today. Those arguing for a revote on recreational marijuana said the original language on the ballot last November was confusing and they want a more informed electorate. Those arguing for continued approval say Montanans overwhelmingly already approved this, and that is democracy in action.
I want to have another vote about a lot of things that are happening in this country right now, but, you know, the voters speak and we're supposed to trust the results of that process.
As a Montanan who voted for this, I think that just deciding to put a revote on it would just completely nullify what I stand for in this country. You know, making a vote, that vote counts.
The numbers were much closer in Yellowstone County, 50.7% to 49.3%. The final language in House Bill 701 that Governor Greg Gianforte signed into law gives counties the authority to draft resolutions, which would put the law up for vote again this November. Billings Police Chief Rich St. John sided with legalization detractors.
We certainly believe that the introduction of recreational marijuana will be a significant problem for law enforcement and is going to exacerbate the addiction and social problems that we're struggling with to get a handle on currently. Introducing recreational marijuana is counterintuitive when we know that drugs are the main driver of property and violent crime in Montana and Billings specifically.
With Commissioner Dennis Pittman absent, both Board Chairman Don Jones and Commissioner John Ostlund needed to vote for the resolution for it to pass. Jones did, but Ostlund eventually sided with the Democratic process.
I don't think you get to re-vote every time you don't like the outcome of an election. I'm not a proponent of recreational marijuana. I didn't vote for it. I don't support it. But I do think that we've got a process that we need to respect.
Commissioners also introduced a resolution to allow Yellowstone County to put a 3% local option marijuana tax on November's ballot, one all speakers seem to be in favor of.
That's going to be a no-brainer. Everyone's going to say, yeah, let's get that extra 3%.
With the taxes of marijuana, we can then help fund our police. We can help break down on some of the vagrancy that's going on in downtown Billings.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
The tax resolution did pass unanimously. Casey Conlon, MTN News.
Thanks, Casey. Billings City Council is scheduled to take up the recreational marijuana issue at its next meeting on Monday. Some breaking news to report tonight as police are on the scene of a serious accident on 1st Avenue North and North 13th Street right now. There are reports that one person is dead and the coroner is being called to the scene. The Billings Police crash team is investigating, so do expect that area to be closed off for some time. In the Heights this evening, people got a chance to meet one-on-one with their neighbors and the police officers and firefighters who serve them. This was the first time that Billings hosted a national night out, part of a campaign to strengthen communities through crime prevention. Q2's Mitch Legge was there and brings us more.
Here in the Billings Heights at Atonement Lutheran Church, an event that was the first of its kind was held on Tuesday night. The event was called National Night Out. It's a nationwide campaign that's been around for 38 years and promotes community building in neighborhoods, crime prevention, and hopes to foster police and community relationships. This year was the first time that the family-friendly event was celebrated in Billings.
Get to know a little bit about each other, and hopefully this can be the start and the seedbed for some of those things like Neighborhood Watch. Maybe this could be the seedbed for your own national night out in your own little neighborhood.
Families could get a first-hand look at a police car and fire truck and put a face to the people who serve the community. During a question and answer session, Billings Police Chief Rich St. John said he had the data to back up that Billings neighbors were looking out for each other. He said for the past few years, the #1 call to police is to report suspicious activity or things that just don't seem right in the neighborhood.
So what allows us to be so successful in keeping other things at bay? It's you, the citizens, who are looking out for your neighbors through Neighborhood Watch, through calling in suspicious calls. Now, sometimes it's nothing, right? And sometimes it turns into something, but you know what that's telling me? You are looking out for your neighbors. We can't be everywhere all the time. And so we need you to do that, and that's what is demonstrated by those numbers year in and year out.
St. John added that there's always more room for neighborhood watch groups. To learn how to start one in your area, you can contact the Billings Police Department or visit the City of Billings website to learn more. Reporting in Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
Well, thank you, Mitch. National Night Out is celebrated in 8 communities around Montana. You can visit natw.org to learn more about how to start one in your neighborhood. Well, over in Carbon County, a vote to build a new detention center has fallen considerably short, it appears. Unofficial results show the bond and mill levy both failing by wide margins. Carbon County has not had a jail of its own for 20 years. A Stillwater County District Court judge has denied a motion to return cattle to a rancher accused of felony animal cruelty. Judge Olivia Rieger issued the order late yesterday, stating the evidence showed the rancher, Jack Myers, subjected the cattle to cruelty, abuse, or neglect as defined by state law. The order follows a hearing held last week in which Myers asked the court to return his cattle while he awaits trial on 3 counts of felony aggravated animal cruelty. COVID-19 cases continue to climb in a big way in Montana, nearly doubling from just a few days ago. Today, Montana saw 402 new cases, the most since mid-January, and 12 new deaths. Yellowstone County is now second in active cases with 227 after seeing another 62 today. Hospitalizations are also on the rise, with 112 people currently in the hospital. Montana's death toll now sits at more than 1,700. And tomorrow morning, Yellowstone County Health Officer John Felton will hold a COVID-19 news conference. It starts at 10 a.m. It will be televised on air and online on ktvq.com. It's been 1 day since the city water department implemented water restrictions. Q2's Andrea Lutz is asking water officials a few questions regarding that decision. First, did it work? And second, what happens to those not following the rules? Here she is with the story.
We're checking in with city water officials after they asked residents to shut off their water valves on Monday for stage 1 water restrictions. After the first time of the city doing this, we're finding out that the results are pretty good.
Around town Monday, dry as a bone for the most part.
I'm thankful to the Billings community because they really did step up.
We checked back in with the water department to see just how much water was conserved a day after water restrictions were put in place.
We saw a significant difference.
That significant difference is this. After just 1 day of not watering, the city saw a 40% dip in water use.
That's allowed us to, rest some equipment, give staff a break. We were completely full in our reservoirs yesterday, so it's been a nice break.
But we have a couple more questions about the water restrictions. Did more people water on Sunday as a result?
We did see a little higher levels, not appreciably on Sunday, which we expected a little bit, and then Tuesday so far has been good. It's been a normal Tuesday.
And what about those residents who still chose to water on Monday, even though restrictions are in place?
Our plan is to get some door hangers on some residents that we've been seeing watering on Mondays.
Engel says the city can also monitor your water usage through smart meters. But overall, he says the some 33,000 water users in the city did a great job of following the rules.
Yeah, I'm really pleased, honestly, to see that kind of reduction. That's great. To see that kind of understanding and just willingness to, okay, I'll do my part, is really encouraging to me.
In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
Thanks, Andrea. Users can call in with concerns to the water department if they see a neighbor or business not following the rules. Then Engel says they will provide those addresses with a friendly reminder. And just so you know, not following the water restrictions can garner a misdemeanor charge under the city's water and sewer rights agreement. Well, here's a rare sight this summer. Rain falling in the Magic City today, an afternoon storm bringing downpours that were enough to flood some city streets. This is a look at the 6th Street underpass where a couple cars got caught in the water. Now turning to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh in Billings, we got a brief break from the smoke thanks to that rain, but it's already moving back in, you said.
That's right. Let's go ahead and take a look. I grabbed this picture with the Stockman Bank weather cam before the sun went down this evening, and you can see that haze starting to move back into the picture all over again. And, well, air quality issues did clear out a little bit during the afternoon. We still have unhealthy air from Sheridan, Gillette, down towards Casper, the Warland area. Really, the more severe problems have remained up in northwest Montana. The valleys up there traditionally have a problem. Now, you see some of the smoke moving out of the Billings area as we get in towards tomorrow. And over the course of the next couple of days, the smoke will come and go as the temperatures start to heat up. As far as wildfires go, you can see it's very active into western Montana, extending all the way up into British Columbia. And of course, some of those fires still across the eastern plains of Montana as well. We'll take a closer look at the forecast in a couple of minutes.
Well, Montana and 17 other states have joined together in a lawsuit challenging a Trump administration rule criminalizing bump stock accessories. Bump stock devices gained national attention when one was used in the 2017 Las Vegas mass shooting that left 59 people dead and hundreds more injured. In February of 2018, then President Trump ordered the acting attorney general to develop a rule banning devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns. Bump stocks harness the recoil energy of a semi-automatic firearm to produce fire rates close to that of fully automatic weapons. The rule, which took effect in March of 2019, required owners of bump stock accessories to turn the devices into the ATF or destroy them to avoid criminal liability. Gun Owners of America sued, saying the rule is an overreach by the ATF, and a United States Court of Appeals ruled against the ATF in March. Well, the bond between man and a man's best friend is special, and coming from humble beginnings to win it big is even more special. MTN's Jane McDonald caught up with the winners of the Purina Pro Plan Regional Dog Competition to hear their story.
Some dogs are bred for competition, others just do it for the joy. And for Rob and his dog Narbe, it's the love of work and dock diving.
Narbe is a rescue. I'll try not to cry. I got a call from my wife. She told me the story. They were scheduled to euthanize her in the morning. Would I take this dog and work with it? She didn't trust anybody. Maybe I was the first person she kind of trusted. I believe most dogs are bred for work, and that's what their love and passion is. So we found her something simple she could do.
Simple? Maybe, but dynamic? There's no question.
The dock diving, we go all over the country to do it. She loves the crowd cheering for her and the applause. Don't touch me, but you can cheer for me all you want. That's great.
A little deeper look into the Belgian Malinois. They aren't for everyone. Our police, our military use them, and for good reason. They're a lot of dog, but that's not all they are.
They're fearless. We were actually invited to go to this, which is a big honor. Geez, I know some of these dogs regularly jump farther than Narbe has ever jumped before. So I'm like, well, we'll just practice extra hard. She actually jumped farther than she's ever had before. It was a little bit of a miracle. She was doing everything perfectly right. And she was just, she was on fire.
Jumping 23 feet, her personal best. An incredible feat for an incredible dog.
It's not that she's a great athlete, but I love her. And to see the things she's done, she had a pretty rough life. And it's hard to know that. It feels really good that she's done what she's done. She's overcome a lot. I'm glad we were there to give her the chance to do it.
Rob and Narbe are gearing up for their next competition, ready to get to work and to have fun. Reporting in Bozeman, Jane McDonald, MTN News.
Great story. Rob and Narbe will compete in the Nationals for dock diving this October. Still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, the calls for New York's governor to resign grow louder as allegations of sexual harassment continue to mount against him. We'll have the latest on that. And in sports, a former Grizz great can now call himself a Hall of Famer. We'll hear from him coming up in just a bit.